I think 10 days later, I get this call from an unknown number. The person on the other side says, "Hi, this is Suraj Bajatia." And I thought someone was kidding. So I was like, yeah, I'm Madhuri Dixit. And I kept the phone down. I think that was one of my first heartbreaks. And I hope you haven't signed on anything else. I said, I've just finished this film with Rajshri. She said, what? You've done a film with Rajshri? So she said, that's it, then your career is done.
Hey guys, my name is Shravan Shah, and on today's episode of Mic Drop, I have the very talented Sandeepa. Welcome to Miss Smiley Sandeepa. How are you?
I'm Shravan, so good to see you again.
Yes, I'm back in your life.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, Sandeepa, is I'm going to take you a little bit back in time. Okay. And I want you to remember the time when you thought that, hey, you know what, I want to become an actor. Now, was that always something that you always wanted to do, or it just happened?
I didn't begin my journey wanting to be an actor. I had no inclination towards acting. I, in fact, had a very different life planned out for myself. I was in my last year of college in Xavier's, and I was also working at the same time. I was interning with UTV at that time. It was called UTV back then.
Yeah.
And I was going to work with them for 2 years and then do my MBA. And then probably do film distribution or in-film branding. That was what my career path was going to be. But when I was in last year of college, when I was in college, I used to do a lot of ads for fun, for pocket money, all of that. It's then that I had gotten a call from the casting director, Vicky Sidana, who was the casting director at Rajshri. And he called me up saying that, Suraj Bajatia is looking at launching 2 new faces and they would want to test me for it. And up until then, I had never tested for a film. I used to do ads. Ads is a different ball game altogether. I used to do ad auditions, but I didn't know what character is, what film, nothing. So I went into the audition process thinking I'll just have fun, see what this audition process is like for a film. Plus, my bigger agenda in all of this was I was a huge Hum Aapke Hain Kaun fan. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go to the office where Hum Aapke Hain Kaun was made. I'll probably bump into the guy who made Hum Aapke Hain Kaun. So, in my naivety, I thought that I'm going to the office for the audition. Maybe Suraj Bajatia will also be there. And I think 2 weeks later, I got a call back from them saying that they want to test me again. Now, this time with the boy, because they had already cast Joe Roy. So they wanted to see chemistry and stuff like that. Even up till then, when they called me for it, I was like, they must be calling so many other girls also. So I'm one of them, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Again, I went in thinking that this is not going to happen. So I'm just doing it for fun's sake, for experience. And this was this audition process was longer though. It was an entire day. We did some 3 scenes and all of that. I was very tired at the end of it, and I was like, "Kya hai ye?" And I finished that, and again, I left. I went back to college and doing my ads and busy with college, and then again, I think 10 days later, I get this call from an unknown number. And I pick it up, and the person on the other side says, "Hi, this is Suraj Bajatia." And I thought someone was kidding with me, one of my friends, because I had told my friends that I've tested for this Rajshri film and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm Madhuri Dixit. And I kept the phone down. And then that person called me again. I was like, who the hell is calling me again and again? He's like, no, but this is really Suraj Bajatia. And but then when he actually spoke like that, I was like, okay, so this might be an authentic call. He said, no, we've really liked your test and we would want you to, do the film. So we just want to know, would you be interested in doing the film? And I went blank because why is Suraj Bajatia asking me if I want to do a film? He should not be asking me. He should be telling me. But look at how amazing that human is, he's a legend. But he's so bloody humble, and he tells me that we would really be happy if you would do the film and stuff like that. And I'm like, I was just screaming. I was like, what? I was more excited about the fact that I got a call from Suraj Barjatian rather than me actually getting the film. So that was, and I screamed and he was there on the other side. In hindsight, I don't think he appreciated that behavior much because that was very unlike how a Rajshri heroine should behave.
Yeah, but I was also talking to Akshay about this, and when you make your debut with a Rajshri film, you always Rajshri films have this entire aura around their life. They are one of those filmmakers who have carved a niche for themselves, the kind of films they do. Okay. And after you do a Rajshri film, somewhere in your head you always have this that hey, I have arrived. Okay. Did that happen with you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Look at their track record. They had launched Madhuri, they had launched Bhagyashree, and now they were launching me.
Yeah.
So in my head, I had already become Madhuri.
Yeah.
Because I also spent almost a year on that film. Like I spent 135 days shooting for that film. When Rajshri takes you in their films, then you become part of their family. So you're like, with them all the time. For them, you're not just an actor. You are a family member for them.
Yeah.
So you invariably start feeling that this is your world now. And henceforth, this is how it's going to be. And I didn't have any prior experience, right? So this was my first experience of films or anything to do with this. What happens once the film releases?
Yeah.
That thought didn't even occur.
Yeah. But after the film release, did the world come shattering away?
Shattering in how, yeah? I think that was one of my first heartbreaks because it was so close to my heart because I'd spent so much time and because of also the simple fact that I didn't think about the fact that it wouldn't do well.
Yeah.
Like that was never an option only. You didn't think about doing it. You always thought that it's going to do well.
Yeah.
So when it didn't do well, it hurt, man.
Yeah.
It was tough. And I think it took me a while to process that. If I was somebody from the industry or who had slight experience in all of this, I would have started planning as to what my next thing should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You actually are supposed to prepare for the worst. Think everything that you do, you think that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the next thing should be. Should I continue to be doing this? Should I not be doing this? I mean, that was also something that popped up in my head. Yeah, even though I got great response for my performance, yet I didn't know whether I should actually continue being in this industry. Do I want to continue to be in this industry? Maybe also because I didn't prepare to be an actor. So I was thrown into this too suddenly.
Yeah.
And I was prepared for everything hit me so suddenly that even, the good chit chat and the bad chit chat, I didn't know which way to go.
Yeah.
What is real, what is not real. And I didn't want to get lost in all of this.
Yeah.
Like it can engulf you, suddenly, and you won't even realize that it's engulfed.
Yeah. Also, in the process that you were learning to be an actor, the craft, and when you were giving auditions, was there anything, a specific line that a casting director told you, okay, which basically meant, hey, we can't cast you. But of course, they can't tell you that on your face, right? So there is also always a sugar-coated line that they tell you that, hey, something. So what do you remember that something?
I remember this very categorically, and I think I'll always remember this all my life.
Okay.
Very famous casting director, very famous. I had just finished the Rajshri film, okay? I had just finished shooting for it. And I think the post-production of the film was happening. And she had called me for a really big film, okay? It's a big banner film. And I got there and I think that banner was launching. They wanted to launch me. And she didn't know that I'd signed the Rajshri film.
Oh.
So I went to meet her and she's like, so we want to cast you in this. Have you done? I hope you haven't signed on anything else. I said, I've just finished this film with Rajshri. She said, what? You've done a film with Rajshri? I said, yeah. So she said, that's it. Then your career is done. I was like 20, and like I was in a very vulnerable space back then, like you don't, I mean, and she's like somebody who's like a major casting director, right? And so you would believe her words because she knows where she's coming from, right? And I think it's so unfair for somebody in that power position to be so insensitive to an actor who's especially young at a very, again, at 20, you're at a very impressionable age. You still don't know, you haven't seen the world, you're not as strong. And especially back, I think now at least people have exposure to the world because of social media and stuff like that. Back then, we didn't have anything, right? And I came from a very protected environment. I didn't know jack shit. And she said that to me, and it shattered the hell out of me.
But did the audition happen? Did the audition happen?
No, the audition had happened a long time back. So she had called me to basically tell me that they wanted to give this film to me.
But then they didn't give the film.
Then they didn't give the film because I had already done the Rajshri film. So the Rajshri film being my debut then. Like they wanted me to be that film ka debut.
And have you ever had a conversation with this casting director after that?
Yeah, I've met her a couple of times. And she is as she is. There's not much of a change.
Is it?
Yeah. As in, she is who she is. And
of course.
No,
but have her views changed about you?
Yes. It's funny that very recently, she offered me a part in a major film. Again. And of course, I had to decline it for other reasons, but I think life comes a full circle. I think you are going to be where you're going to be. And
irrespective of what people tell you.
Yeah.
No. But I'm sure a lot of people out there look up to the Sandeepa Dhar you are. And I am very proud of the actor that you've become, because today we know, or I know for a fact that when Sandeepa Dhar does something, she does it with dignity. So please keep doing that, because I am proud of you, and just like me, a lot of people are proud of you.
Thank you so much.